Okay, so as soon as I'm showing that I'm live, I will continue with the video tutorial process. Okay, yep, we're live. So this video is going to be a general overview of what's called Microsoft OneNote, and it's gonna be a little bit longer than the last one because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be actually building this notebook as I'm explaining it. So there's some features I haven't really tested. I don't know how they work yet. So we're going to kind of discover this together. But first, what is OneNote? It's essentially a collection of notebooks. So I have several notebooks here. I have my personal to-do notebook. These list a bunch of stuff that I need to do before the beginning of the semester. You can see it's a pretty long list. And then I have my sample course that I'm working on. So basically, they're notebooks. And what you do to build them is you create sections for your notebook. So here I have 3 different sections for this particular sample course. And so I have this OneNote overview, assignments, and class notes. And so what I'm going to be doing for the people that I'm including on this video, I'm going to add you as students to this course, and I kind of want to play around with the way that this functionality works. Now, the version of OneNote that I'm using on my desktop right now is required for the class notebook is actually OneNote 2016, which is an older version of this. And so the one that you would have just by default when you install Office 360 looks a lot more like this. For reasons unknown to me, Microsoft decided they wanted to remove some functionality in this version, so you can't add plugins the same way. But this is probably what you would have if you just installed Office 360. So the question is, if you want the version that I'm running here, how can you do that? Well, let's open up a web browser here. So I have my, let's see, this one right here is the one that I have. So first thing that you would want to do if you want that version is you would want to install or reinstall OneNote 2016. And so this web page shows you how to do that. Now, I'm going to be using OneNote when I build this, and so I have this section for the OneNote overview. I'm going to add a page for how, we're going to rename this, how to install OneNote 2016. Okay. Now, what's interesting about this, and you see that in Chrome I have this OneNote add-in. The way that you would get that in Chrome, you can go Chrome extension. I look up a lot of different extensions, but basically you can go to the Chrome store. You can find the OneNote extension, and you can download it. This is what's called the OneNote Web Clipper. You're going to see why this is really useful in, like, right now. So what I want to do to build this notebook and add this section, how to install OneNote 2016, I want the information from this web page, and I don't want to copy paste it, you know, the way we would into Microsoft Word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the OneNote Clipper. And so what this does, it gives you a couple of different options for the way that you want to do this. I'm going to use the article option, hit clip. It's clipping this article. Now, what I need to do is I need to figure out how to get this into here. Now, this might be different because the desktop version's old. So, like I said, we're going to be figuring out a lot of this stuff on the fly. So, basically, what this did was it added this to a notebook called Quick Notes. Who am I signed in as currently? So I'm going to edit this in OneNote. We're going to open this version. Now this is a little bit troublesome. because, okay, perfect, perfect. So it's actually, it's here now, okay? So that pulled it in. So there's probably better ways to get this in here than the way that I just did it. But that's probably some of the functionality that they have built into this version right here. This version probably does this on the fly a lot easier. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to move this into my other notebook. So I have the Sean's notebook here that it created for me automatically for the clipping. But I want to move this. So what I can do is I can go cut. I can go sample course. And we're going to find out how well this works. We're going to do that. And then I actually don't need this page anymore. This one's gone. Okay. So now we have these instructions for installing or reinstalling OneNote 2016 very nicely in the notebook already. And these are hyperlinks. So what you can do if you need to do this, you can click on this. I wonder if this is going to start a download here automatically or not. It does. So what it does is it opens up Chrome and then it starts to download. So that's really cool. Okay, so that's how you're getting this version of OneNote that I have here. The other thing that I want to show you how to do is how to get the OneNote class notebook. So this tab here is not something that's here by default. You have to install it. And so in order to do that, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip the article. This is fine, I guess. If I clip the full page, like just by default, it would probably look better. So we'll play with it, right? Because the last one I did as an article. Let's try clipping this one as full page. Now, here we go. So this is how I can send it somewhere specific. So this is going to go in sample course, and then under OneNote overview, we're going to clip it. And now it should populate right here the next time this refreshes. Hopefully. You in OneNote? Okay. So I'm not sure why it hasn't refreshed, but let's try to manually refresh this by just swapping these. So it says it's synced. Why is this not synced? Okay, let's go view in OneNote. Edit in OneNote. Open OneNote 2016. There it is. There it is. Okay, so you might have to kind of play around with these things in order to get them to work the way you want to. Okay. So the thing about this, I was hoping what it was going to do was it was actually going to put an embedded web page here, but that's not what it did. And if it was an embedded web page, what it would be doing, you could click on these links. That's not the way that it works. But what you can do is you can just click here, and then that takes you to the actual web page. So there you go. So that's how you can get or install OneNote 2016, and how you can get this class notebook tab here that I have. So why do we want the class notebook tab? What the class notebook tab does, and maybe I'll add another section for that as well. So class notebook YouTube OneNote. Let's see if it knows what I'm looking for. Yes. So I'm not going to watch this video myself, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. You know, it would be nice if let's click this, and we're just going to send this to the OneNote overview. What would be nice is if this was embedded. I don't think it's embedded. But maybe if you do the article, it does embed automatically. So we're gonna see. Okay, go view in OneNote. Can I just notebook sync status, sync all? Okay, so that'll take longer probably than doing this. It is an embedded video. Okay, so the way that you don't web page, you want to clip the when you use the clipping tool, you do, let's see, article, bookmark, full page. I think it's article. What I did was article. Okay, so article will embed this in OneNote so that you can interact with it here. Okay, that's really nice. And also going to be useful for my Mathematica add-in that I'm going to be working on. So that's going to be a really cool thing. I mentioned it to you guys already, but I'm excited for that. And I don't have as much time to work on that as I'd like, but those are my problems. Okay, so we have the welcome to OneNote. We have the install or reinstall 2016. This is how you get the class notebook. I'm going to move this one up here because this is kind of a video tutorial that somebody else put together. The next thing that I want to do, I want to add some instructions for getting the clip to OneNote tool. So let's do clip OneNote tool. And we'll add another video for this one. And of course, I'm still live, but for whatever reason, YouTube's not playing nice. So, OneNote Chrome extension. We want to find a video for this. And this is probably going through exactly what I just did. Yes. Okay. So this is the instructions for Chrome. We'll clip this. We're going to send this to the same place that I did before. So let's, well, okay, view in OneNote's always going to open the browser version. So that's the other thing about this. It's very portable. So if you have Microsoft credentials, and we do because the university credentials work with Microsoft credentials, you can do this on any web browser on any computer. You can also, like I have here, the desktop version is the most powerful version, which is why I'm using it. But you can also install it on your phone. And I have 2% battery power here. But I'm opening up my phone right now. Let's look at this later. Let's go more notebooks, sample course, class notes, OneNote overview. And you can see here on my phone even, I have all of the tabs that I have here for, or all the pages that I have here for the OneNote overview. Okay, like I said, this software is amazing. Okay. So we need to, okay, that's there as well. So that has all the information we need. I might change the titles here so that these are a little bit more explicit. Okay, so now let's get into the real meat of what it is that I wanted to do. And I wanted to test to see how well this class notebook plugin works, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of assignments and a couple of class notes. So Newton's second law, I already made this quote from Big Bang Theory there. Let's make a class note on momentum. And so what I can do here is I can actually draw on this. So I can say that, well, let's, before I do that, let's write something in here. So we go to the draw. Right, we're going to say conservation of momentum is defined as follows. And then what I can do is I can actually write here because a lot of students and some of you guys have tablets that you can write on. What you can do is you can write on here. So sum pi is equal to sum p f factor. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could leave it like this. But OneNote has integrated what's called OCR. And what OCR stands for is it's optical character recognition. So what I can do is I can select this with the lasso tool. And now that it's selected, I can go to convert. And convert, there are two kinds of convert. We can do ink to text. So if, for instance, you're taking handwritten notes, you could use ink to text, or you can use ink to math. So we're going to do ink to math. It doesn't always do a good job converting this, and so we might need to fix it. So here, we need this to be a sigma, or I'm just going to erase this and do it again. I'm doing this with my touch screen with my finger, and when I write this with a stylus, it's much more accurate, so these convert better. And something that it'll do over time, it'll get used to your handwriting. And so the more that you use this system, the better it is at identifying what it is that you're writing. And so I need this to be a P. I want this to be a lowercase p, and this to be a T. Okay, no, not a T. It was already a T. We want this to be an F. Okay, and now we have this equation inserted, and we can edit this the same way that we would a lot of other things in the Microsoft ecosystem. So we can change the size of the font. So a lot of the things that you guys know already from using Word and Excel carry over to this ecosystem. Okay, let's do one more. So this is going to be work and energy theorem. This is energy theorem. And let's, again, just draw this in and then convert it. So the work is going to be equal to the integral of f dot dr from, I forget how it usually likes this. It usually likes these on the outside. So this is going to go from R1 to R2. And this is going to give it some difficulty. So we're going to have to play with this to get it the way that we want. Like I said, normally if I was writing this by hand, this would work a lot better than right now because I'm using my finger. It actually gets pretty close. So let's select this. This is just an equal sign. And actually, what I want to do is I want to space this out a little bit better. Let's make a short equal sign here. Almost has this right. So this is going to be an R. It's got the R vector. This is also an R. This is a vector sign. Let's select both of these at the same time. This is an R vector. This thing here is an integral, but it's not quite getting it the way that I want. So let's see if moving this around, or see if I can move it around. So, like I said, you have to kind of train on this to first know what it is that it wants, and then kind of figure out how to get it to do what you want. I'm just going to erase this. It did a pretty good job with upper limit. Just having a difficult time with the lower limit. I'm stubborn. I'm going to get this, but I can fix this one first. This one's going to be an easier fix. This is just an R vector. This is, see if it knows what I want here. It doesn't. So we got to fix the R1 first. R1 vector. Okay. And then let's see. It does seem to have trouble with integrals. It does seem to have trouble with integrals. is no. This one looks the closest. That's not it. Still doesn't know what it wants. So part of this process is also me learning how to write things in a way that it accepts. So let's do it like that. Okay, that's a lot better. So you have to, apparently when you do this, you can't put the limits of integration to the left. It needs to be directly below it. I think that's going to help. So I can't do all of it at once. Right. That is a really ugly R. This is an R. It's an R vector. That's close enough. What I want is the vector sign just over this. But what you can do is once you insert this, you can also edit it yourself. If I can select it. So what I want is, I actually don't want the vector sign above that. I just want this above, above the R, and then subscript space subscript 1. What are you doing? Let's see if I can figure this one out. Space underscore, nope. Okay. Let's do R vec space underscore 1. Okay. So if you know a little bit about how the Microsoft Equation Editor works for hand typing things, it helps as well. And then we can make this bigger if we want. Okay. So those are my 3 sections. So the next thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add you guys to the course. And so in order to do that, what I want to do is I want to go class notebook and add or remove students. I'm going to do this on a different screen. I'm going to make this a protected video as well, so it's not available to the internet. So let's add students over here so nobody can see what it is that I'm doing. You already saw my email address, but I'll live. Okay, you guys can look at the Brotherhood of Nod background for the time being. Okay, so what I want to do, I have to log into here. Okay. Okay. Well, this might be a problem. Because, so something that's important for this to work, it seems, is that this needs to be integrated into the university LMS. And I did send them an email about doing that, but it seems like that's not going to work. So let's see if I can add a different account. I'll use my personal Microsoft account to see if I can make a class like this. You can't use, it needs to, okay, well, I guess that might be the end of the tutorial because I can't use the full functionality of this without the university actually opting into it, which they should because they're in the process of migrating a bunch of stuff over. Okay. So the video that I posted in the OneNote overview should have a lot of the information that you need to understand at least what it is that I'm trying to do. So this one right here. So let's actually make this a little bit shorter. Is that safe? Okay. That's a fine title, I guess. Okay, and those things are all fine. So, that's a bit frustrating. So let me show you what it is that I'm seeing here. I don't have any personal information on this anymore. Um, but basically, uh, what's going on here is it can't make the class notebook. Um, Give us a few minutes while we set everything up and then refresh the page. Um, I think this might be an issue with the university having this set up. Um, I did send in a ticket to tech support in order to get that done. So that's gonna be it, unfortunately, because there's a lot of really interesting functionality that's built in here. And unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to use. But what I will do is I'll share this notebook on the team page that I had made, and then you can at least play around with it. But just to kind of talk through what it is that you're going to be able to do when we get the full integration here. When you create assignments, these can be distributed to individual students. And I don't know actually exactly how it works yet, because I haven't been able to test it. Some distributions only work for a class notebook. Please select a class notebook. Distribute. Yeah, this actually puts a big damper on what it is that I'd like to do with this, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to have all of my pre-lecture assignments run through this. But we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. But I guess that's going to be it for this this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, I'm going to be posting this in the Teams page that I made for us, and it will it'll have a chat section there, so you guys can ask me any questions about this. But it looks like we might just be waiting on the university to fix this. Okay. Well, that's going to be it. I'm going to make sure that I'm not cutting this off in the wrong place. So this is live. And that's going to be it. Take care. Okay. We're not live.